amazing American cyberpunk TV shows from the 90s. Cyberpunk has always been an integral part of science fiction, and the genre has enjoyed a massive fan following ever since its inception. Now, the question might arise, what exactly is cyberpunk? To put it simply, cyberpunk is a genre that deals with the disastrous effects of the overuse of technology. It involves mind-numbing concepts such as worlds dominated by artificial intelligence and computers, which paves the way for great content for science fiction shows. There's a noticeable trend in the cyberpunk from the 90s and early 2000s. They were becoming mainstream and were attracting a lot more fans than before. Here we would discuss some of the all-time classics from the cyberpunk TV shows made in the 90s. They are still evergreen and ripe for viewing, and as fans of science fiction, you cannot afford to miss out on such amazing shows. Our focus is strictly on the American TV shows, and thus we've chosen to omit the cyberpunk anime from this list. It is time to sit back and enjoy the show and relive these phenomenal cyberpunk shows from the 90s. Enjoy the blast from the past. Before we go into our list, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click from you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's begin.
You will follow your POA. You will engage the bugs until all civilians are safely evacuated. Do you get me, Roughnecks?
Sir, we get you, sir!
Roughnecks, Starship Troopers Chronicles, 1999. The story begins when the Roughnecks are sent to Pluto to save some miners from arachnids. They soon discover a transport bug that had managed to flee from Pluto, and in their hunt for that bug, they stumble upon a species being controlled by these bugs. They liberate the alien species from this bug, and after many battles and difficulties, the Roughnecks manage to trace the queen of these bugs. One of the best things about this series was the character development, which was perfect. The animation was really good if you look at it from the perspective of the 90s. It is unfortunate that the series ends before you see the Roughnecks saving the Earth, but still, it's 37 episodes of pure entertainment. The exotic and realistic characters and locations add to the viewing experience. The voice actors do a brilliant job and give the soul to this show. We strongly recommend this for the fans of the Starship Troopers movie. It seldom gets more interesting.
And now you die.
Farscape, 1999. What if an astronaut is thrown across the universe? As horrifying as the premise is, the story of Farscape builds up from here into a spectacular sci-fi cyberpunk show. It tells the story of an experimental mission gone wrong for astronaut John Crichton. He soon finds himself to be a part of an alien starship crew. What happens next is an adventurous journey of this astronaut that spans across the several episodes of this show. The plot is twisted and complicated. The intense plotline requires some concentration while you watch the series. From adventure to suspense and drama, the show has all the ingredients for a perfect sci-fi series. The carefully worked out characters and creatures in the show conjures a unique experience. The chemistry between the actors Claudia Black and Ben Bowder is to watch out for, and the well-written narrative never allows a dull moment. Look out for the gorgeous sets and the amazing special effects while you watch this remarkable series. Dark Angel, 1999. You know a series is special when it's directed by the legendary James Cameron. The story of Dark Angel centers around a group of children who've been genetically enhanced. They manage to escape from the experimental project, and the plot fast-forwards itself to some years in the future. Here we see the protagonist, one of the children who has fled, working for a messenger service. The backdrop is now that of a post-apocalyptic Pacific Northwest. The intriguing plot is complemented by some fascinating actors and actresses like Jessica Alba, Michael Weatherly, and Richard Gunn. Jessica Alba in particular steals the show with her remarkable acting, and her fans adore this particular series for her performance. The plot is enough content to sustain the suspense and thrilling moments all through the series. The set design was extraordinary, and the beautiful music only added to the charms of this amazing show. The only bad thing about Dark Angel is that it was eventually canceled. Dude. Robocop Prime Directives 2001. The plot of Robocop Prime Directives takes off from where it left at the end of Robocop. Delta City is once again at the helm of things and is perceived to be peaceful. The bubble bursts when Alex Murphy, the Robocop, and John Cable stumble upon an evil group of OCP executives. Worse still, the group uses the son of Alex Murphy and programs him to assassinate Cable. Will Robocop manage to keep the evil forces at bay? Will the mysterious villain Bone Machine be defeated? We won't give it out, but this exciting series has all the answers. It would be unfair to think that this series is in the same league as the original, but the series still manages to hold its own. The plot is interesting and has some exciting moments, including a few flashbacks. There are, however, some problems with this series, as Paige Fletcher, the actor essaying Robocop, is not the best fit for the role. Besides this, the miniseries is full of dark plotlines and violent moments. It's definitely worth a watch, especially if you've admired the original.
You stupid fool!
The Adventures of Brisco County Jr., 1993. Now this one could fall under the realm of steampunk, but we still wanted to include this in the list because it's an exceptionally good show and no one seems to talk about it. A Harvard-educated lawyer turns into a bounty hunter. Sounds interesting? Well then chances are you would find the series The Adventures of Brisco County Jr. rather interesting. The protagonist, Brisco County, is up for the adventure and he is aided by his sidekick, Lord Bowler. His trusted horse Comet is also an able accomplice as the team hunts down the men that they are assigned to kill with use of futuristic gadgets. Oh, and there's a catch. Among the several men he has to hunt down, there is his father's murderer as well. The Western-styled series had Bruce Campbell playing the protagonist, and he does so in style. Julius Carey as his sidekick does a decent job as well. The series was appreciated from all quarters, and for many, it seemed like a brilliant mix of Indiana Jones and James Bond. This is not the easiest to categorize, but let's just say it's a great entertainer with the drama and action scenes involving futuristic weapons. The writing is spot on, and that helps the characters leave a lasting impression on the viewer. In short, go and watch this timeless classic and enjoy the simplicity and artistic brilliance on offer. Unfortunately, this show was also abruptly canceled.
I can't let you do this! You idiot. They are getting ready to kill us. What the hell do you think this jamming device is? They're locking missiles onto us!
Total Recall 2070, 1999. The story of Total Recall is as bizarre as it gets, but the exceptional handling of the story ensures a great series at hand. The plot traces the journey of a detective who's helped by a new officer, who happens to be an android. The backdrop is that of a futuristic world that's controlled by multinational corporations. To solve crimes, the detectives may even have to head to Mars, where some of these companies operate. Total Recall has all the elements of cyberpunk to make it a popular name in the genre. There are subjects like virtual reality, brain manipulation, genetics, and androids in the plot, and they have been carefully integrated into the story. Michael Easton as David Hume the detective does a great job, and you can barely take your eyes off the screen while he's there. Carl Pruner plays the role of the supportive android cop with ease, and they have a brilliant team of supporting actors. The futuristic set design and the impressive background make this series stand out among the others in this genre. Unfortunately, the series was canceled a bit too soon, but you can make amends by watching this entertaining series as a cult classic in this cyberpunk genre.
System error.
Beast Machine Transformers, 1999. Do Transformers characters ever get boring? Of course not, and Beast Machine Transformers is a great example of how the characters can be reintroduced in a gripping story. The story begins when the Maximals are threatened on their home planet by Viacons. These Viacons were created by Megatron, and now the Maximals have only one way out. They must free their own planet from the powerful Megatron to restore normalcy in their lives. The uniqueness of this show is that it deviates from the usual mindless, entertaining, kid-friendly content that is doled out by the Transformers series. Here, the story embraces darker and complex aspects, which makes things very interesting. The thought-provoking themes, the intelligent metaphors, and the deep concepts make this a class apart. The 3D animation is fascinating for the time it was created, and you have on your hands 26 episodes of a gripping story. If you're a cyberpunk fan, you ought to be game for Beast Machine.